Okay. Let me do some other stuff right here. Into the Creator Studio. On. Of course. Hold on. Okay. Let me make sure everything is ready. First, I'm still setting everything up. Hold on. But yes, if you actually just see on screen, I cannot log in into the test server. It's been pretty buggy for a lot of people, unfortunately, myself included. And I only tried a little bit. I saw some of the crafting recipes for some of the new stuff on the test server, and it was just way too lagging, and it just crashed. And now we're in like the login, in the loading, just trying to log in, and it doesn't. There's nothing else. So unfortunately, but while we're here, more people just try to join in. So because I don't want to just start repeating myself or a lot of things, so I just want to just talk in regards to the whole patch notes. So yeah, there's new banners. I don't know. I haven't checked if there's new banners on the patch note. There doesn't seem to be any new banners. The only thing that there is everything that is on the thumbnail. That is the combat, block, the Mystic Gem, and class rebalancing. Those are the three things that are in the patch notes. And by class rebalancing, it's just mainly some buffs to some of the less used class. But yeah. So right now here on PC. So let me make sure. Do this. Okay. So how's everyone doing? Like I did mention a little bit before, this, well, on the community tab, this was to be expected because they always, whenever they say coming soon on something, it usually just happened between the week. So yeah, it did happen within the week. So we're here right now on the test server. So I will be just talking about all of the patch notes, just giving my own personal opinions and just based on what I read and some other stuff. I also have, there is also a, what is it, like someone just took a screenshot on how much power and do you get from the Mystic Gems, because Mystic Gems goes up to 35. And the crafting recipe that it requires you to actually just increase to the Mystic Gems. And let me just tell you, there is some pretty rough stuff, to say the least, to be expected. But how's everyone doing once again? My apologies if I cannot just show you anything like I did mention before, or you can actually just see. I try to log in every single time on the test server and I cannot, and it just lags out and it just crashes. I believe there's people on the test server, but the majority of the players cannot log in onto the test server, and it is pretty annoying, to say the least, because unfortunately, for those who don't know, my account got rolled back. My PC, like my test server account, got rolled back to like years and years ago. I had my character at 47,000 power rank or something like that, and it got rolled back to like 40,000 power, and I believe this was like back in 2022. I think it got rolled back all the way back there. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to actually just do any of the testing when it does come out. But I will do like the exporting account, like this account right here, this PC account, since I can just enter Longshade and do all of that. But unfortunately, I had to export my account because my test server account, the thing is, by the way, for those who don't know, my test server account was way higher than this account right here. It was like it had way too many stuff in it, and it included all of the items that we got for free when the Mystic gear came out. So I had like a lot of Souls of the Devs and a lot of things, and unfortunately that's just how it is. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I grinded that one thing once, and there we go with neighbors just being annoying as hell. But yeah, shall we get started? There's a lot of you already tuning in. My apologies, by the way. But let's see. Before I just read the patch note, let's see what we have right here. Do you actually have to play the game normally on the test server to test? Yes, it's one of the most annoying things regarding the test server. Yes, you have to essentially just play the game normally if you want to do anything on the test server. Occasionally they give us items to do the testing, but more often than not, yes, you have to play the game normally. Having to upgrade the gen is going to be a hustle. Like, yes, if you actually just see some of the upgrades, is really rough. Music seems to be pretty loud on my headset. Hold on, let me just lower it a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's the way that they implement the Mystic Gift, from what I could tell, is pretty bad. It's actually, it might be even the worst case scenario in terms of implementation, because as far as I know, they didn't make any changes to anything prior to Mystic. So everything still takes as long as it did before this introduction. Subject to change, because it usually happens, especially on updates like this one. Is pretty much just subject to change. It happened on Sunrise as well when they added crystal gems. They made stellar gems were still like really difficult to upgrade, and crystal gems, they were borderline almost impossible to upgrade normally, but they rebalanced it in the coming days and all of that. But with Mystic gems, first impression is not that good. I'm just gonna say that much. All right, so I will be reading some of the patch notes right here. I will probably just highlight this portion of the stream as a separate video and just talking about a lot of the things. Hopefully, if I actually am capable of just getting the footage later down the line, I will try my best to just put in some footage on it. But as time goes on, there is not going to be any changes. Right now, it's going to be like this for the most part, unfortunately. Right, so we're going to be reading some of the patch notes right here. The first thing on this category in the patch note, it says combat block. And it reads, combat block is a new system that protects Trovians from death. Each point of combat block can save Trovian from a single damaging attack, which otherwise would kill them. Yes, this works similarly to the Death-Defying Vial without a heal. And then it was said on the test server, filling your block will be free during testing and will fill by interacting with the battle block battery in the hub. So one thing that I will just mention it is, I don't like the fact that it says filling your block will be free during testing. Does it imply that it costs something to gain the blocks? And from my understanding, it doesn't seem to be that great. I'm gonna be 100% transparent with you. It doesn't really seem to be that good at all. Let me just put this. Let me just put it so I can just read the chat as well. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be that great. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I'm gonna be like 100% real with you. Alright, moving on. While all classes can benefit from combat block, it is specially oriented towards melee characters, who must wade into close quarters combat, risking more than ranged character. The maximum amount of block, it depends on your class and defensive stat of your weapon, face, and head equipment. And the defensive stat is going to be your max health regen and stability. Those are going to be considered the defensive stat, and I mean defenses in quotation. Properly geared melee classes like Knight, Revenant can expect to have over 1,000 points of combat block. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, because what is 1 point, 3 points, something like that? It doesn't explain jack shite, essentially. What does it mean to have 1,000 points of combat block? Fortunately, can't test because cannot log into the test server, but from what I can see right here, and just giving my own honest opinion, this kind of sucks. Gonna be honest with you, this kind of sucks. So let me just explain. Trove, when it comes to survivability, the only thing that really kills you are one-shots. So it doesn't necessarily matter what kind of protection that you do have. If you do get hit with a percentage HP, like you just mentioned, the climb one-shot, Daughter of the Moon swipe, and all of that, that will just one-shot you regardless. So it doesn't matter if you do have like a lot of resistance or not. Outside of that, like pretty much Creatures doesn't do a lot of damage. It doesn't work really well at the beginning of the game because let me just go into Trove right here. So the reason being is because we do have this. The major starter draining kits. The major starter draining kits essentially just makes all of the survivability like super easy. You essentially have a 10% damage lifesteal that you can get it literally as soon as you start the game. And it is just way better than pretty much any survivability that is in the game. It pretty much just makes something like the Death-Defying Vial almost obsolete. You generally don't even need Death-Defying Vial for a lot of things. I've actually just used this account. This account, I don't think it has DDV. Does it have DDV? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't even have DDV, and I got essentially all the way to Longshade, and it's pretty easy to get to Longshade without the need of using the Defiant Vial. And once you actually do reach to the end game, Longshade barely does anything to you, and Death Defying Vial is just easier to obtain than just getting a weaker Death Defying Vial. It just makes absolutely no sense to have it right now. In my own personal opinion, I was more expecting the block to be more like a damage reflect. You know, similar to like what Clam does to us, we can just do to other types of enemy. The more block stat that we have, the more damage reflect that we do. That would have been a little bit better than just, oh, yes, we do just have a weaker Death Defying Vial, when we have like 7 million life steals available to us that are easier to get. So in my own personal opinion, right now is pretty bad. Is kinda awful. So just gonna be honest with you on that one. But yeah, that's just a block stat. In game, it's going to look like a little hexagon next to your health bar. So right around here, you're going to get the like the block stat, which is going to be a number that just getting increased. Again, a pretty much is, I believe you can just charge it and you can just have like a pseudo death defying file. That is kind of bad, I'm being honest. Alright, so yeah, that's combat block. Next up is going to be Mystic Gems. So Mystic Gems, it says right here, Mystic Gem has arrived, found in gem boxes obtained in long shade difficulty, which is difficulty 15. Mystic Gems can help Trovian extend their power even further, allowing them to take on tougher enemies. Mystic Gem requires some new materials to fully upgrade as some old materials. Like your crystal gems, good news, you can buy Mystic Gem Converter from the store, allowing you to keep your crystal gem stat allocation. So once again, similar to what they did with crystal gems, they are going to do exactly the same thing with Mystic Gem. Unfortunately, upgrading a crystal gem to a Mystic Gem seems to be like grossly expensive. Like very grossly expensive. Like, I'm not even kidding. As far as I know, from what I've seen, I believe it costs 200 Souls of the Depths per gem. And I believe it's like 5 or 10 sparks, mystic sparks? I don't remember. And also in like I just read right there, yes, it's also on the store, but it on the test server right now is not there from what I could tell. But I would assume it's going to cost, God knows, 20,000 cubits each. 30, even 30,000 cubits. They're going to be something ridiculous like that. I don't know exactly how much because they are not there on the store yet. But as far as crafting them, it costs 200 Souls of the Depths. That is absurd, to say the least. Will you be able to obtain Mystic and Power Gem regularly without upgrading? Yes. There is going to be Mystic and Power Gem boxes. I believe they cost also Spark, Souls of the Depths, and 50 Empower Gem fragments per. It's kind of expensive, not gonna lie. Yeah, pretty much. But there are Mystic and Power Gems for each of the colors, and it's also pretty expensive. But yes, there is a way to get Mystic and Power Gems. But converting is going to cost 200 per gem. And as far as I know, they haven't made any changes to obtaining Souls of the Depth. Nor anything, by the way. You think about it, getting gems will enable you to get Mystic Gear much easier. That's the thing. You would think that Mystic Gem will give you so much stats. I've seen the... Okay. Let me just tell you how much light you do get. It's not good, by the way. Let me see if I can just find it. Alright, yeah. Okay, so... Oh, someone's just posted a screenshot. Thank Lord. Thank the Lord. Okay, so here we go. So getting the Empower Gem, Mystic Empower Gem, costs 5 Souls of the Depth, 1 Mystic Gem Shard, and 50 Empower Gem Fragments. And if you want to get a specific color on the Mystic Gem, a Mystic Empower Gem, is 30 sparks of that color. That's for 1 gem box. 5 Souls of the Dead, 1 Mystic Gem Shard, 30 sparks of the color that you want, and 50 empower gem fragments. And 1 mystic gem shard is 20 sparks of each color. So essentially 5 primal gem shard per mystic spark. Or mystic shard, gem shard, not spark. Mystic gem shard. So, and yeah, the mystic gem converter is 10 mystic gem shard and 200 souls of the depth. God damn it, that is insane. Let's see. Let's see if I can just find it. I believe it's not even that much of an increase. Oh, there we go. There it is. So if you upgrade your level 30, by the way, your level 30, the difference between a level 30 maxed out Empower Gem Crystal and a level 30 maxed out Mystic is 100 light. So in other words, you are spending 200 Souls of the Depths and 10 Sparks or Gem Shards or 100 light. And fully maxed out is 165 light. That's your Empower Gem. And your Lesser Gem is 121. So in other words, 240, like 400 light you're getting in total. 400 give or take. That is if you, that is comparing a level 30 crystal full set of cosmic gems and a level 35 mystic. Power rank though, it's a pretty big increase, I will say. That is one thing that I will say. Power rank, it is a big increase. It is, for each Empower Gem is 582 power rank. Comparable a level 30 crystal and a level 35 mystic is 582. For the Empower Gem, and for the Lesser Gem is 273. And then you multiply that by all of the gems that are available. Let me move on Trove before I get kicked, so I don't get kicked. There we go. What's the upgrade from level 30 to 35 going to be? Good question. Ay, Dios mío. So it doesn't seem to be that bad. It all depends on how much sparks we do get. But as far as I know, it costs... Excuse me. It will cost... Essentially, it will cost you 1 Mystic Spark. Okay, someone just said that. Thank God that it didn't went there. You know what? Or I just risk it. Let me just get the hell out of here. I hate the hub sometimes. I hate this. Jesus. But it will cost... Let me just call it Mystic Spark because it says Mystic Spark here. But it's the Mystic Gem Shard. You know, the thing that will cost 20 of each of the regular sparks to craft one of them. It will cost you 1 per attempt, plus 15 of the gem spark of that color for level 31. You know, to get, I believe that is to get from 30 to 31. Then it is the same. Wait, hold on. It says right here, like on the Empower Gen, it is the same across the board. Like, that doesn't seem right. It says like it is 15 elemental sparks of each color plus 1 mystic per level, which is not the case on the Lesser Gem. The Lesser Gem is 35 gem sparks of the color plus 1 Mystic Spark just for the level 30, for one attempt on level 31. So in other words, it will cost you 55 Gem Spark of the color plus 20 of all of the other colors just to get one attempt on level 31. And then it keeps getting increased on 5 Gem Sparks of the color per level. So 32 is 40 Gem Sparks, 33 is 45, 34 is 50, and 35 is 55. So to get to 35 is 55 per attempt plus 1 Mystic Spark. Keep in mind that you're doing all of that on the lesser gen. You're doing all of that for like what? 9 light, 8 light, 9 light, 8, and then 22. That's 9 light, 8, 9, 8, and 22. Have I gone over the class buff already? No, I have not. I am still going over the Mystic Gems. So... But yeah, Mystic Gem currently right now doesn't seem to be too great. So I don't know, man. I think they went a little bit too far on this one. I think they went a little bit too far on this one. Because considering that none of the other upgrades, by the way, none of them, like none of the other, not upgrade, like none of the other gem rarity has received any changes. So it still takes as long to level up your crystal gems, which you do need them to level 30. Just as a point of reference, this is my character. This character is literally at the bare minimum to enter Longshade, including light and everything. This character has all of the gems at level 30. Maxed out C4 with a C3 ring and even the permatorch. Total mastery 562. I believe I have 3 out of the 4 primordial dragons. I got 3 out of the 4 primordial dragons. I don't have a lot of dragons. That's the thing that I am severely lacking, but that you need all of that just to get the bare minimum to enter into Longshade. Can you draw Mr. Gem from... yes. There will be, by the way, I don't think it... Did it mention right here? I think it mentioned it, but there will be elemental worlds for each of the gems. So there will be Longshade, Igneous Island, Longshade Topside, Longshade this, Longshade this, Ground World, Skylands. Like all of them, there will be a Longshade for all of them. Difficulty 15. So you should be able to grind gem boxes over there. That might be like the best course of action depending on like right now. Grinding Mystic Gem rather than just upgrade, do a conversion. But shall we get started with the buffs? I will talk more a little bit about Mystic Gems in a little bit later. Yeah, and then there's the Bound Brilliance, the Gem Rerollings, and all of that. This is rough. Anyways, let's start going over. Actually, let me just put these right here so I can just show you, so I can just read chat while I have everything right here. So the first character that got a increase is the Chloromancer. So Chloromancer has the healing increase from the basic attack, so this attack right here, from 4 to 6%, which sucks. So 4 to 6%, which is okay. increase the healing effect on seedlings, which I would assume is the one from Mini Bloom. I believe it's this one. Whenever you do hit an enemy, you're going to spawn mini blooms and the explosion will give you an HP. Either that or something different, but yes, let me go into a Medieval Highlands just to go into the target dummy. Alright. So yeah. This basic attack will heal more from 4 to 6%. The increased ceiling, which I would assume is the explosion that you do get from this, is going to be increased from 18 to 22%. I believe it's 18-22% of your life, or either that or it is something completely different because nothing is called the ceiling. But yeah, anyways, the mini bloom spawn, so the passive ability will get an increase from 10 to 15%. So that ability right there. Right now is going to be 15%. And that's all of the buffs on the Chloromancer. It sucks. I'm not gonna say anything more. It just sucks. Just gives us like better increase on healing effects, and mini bloom spawning more frequently is okay, but it's that this ability sucks anyways. So Chloromancer, even though it is a buff, it kind of sucks. Next up is Gunslinger. So Gunslinger receives some nice buffs. First of all, it's the basic attack. The basic attack has an increased damage of 15%, which I believe right now is 1 point... What is the basic attack damage right now? Oh god, I forgot. Hold on, let me check that real quick. Isn't it like 1.66 times damage? Trove, Shadowy, Spotlight. No, it is no Shadowy Spotlight, Gunslinger rework. Gunslinger nose go. Basic attack, it is 1.65, so 1.66, yeah, roughly. So that is the current damage on Gunslinger. So this is right now 1.6. It's going to be 15% stronger, which, if I do mental math, 10% of 1.65 is 1.165. So that will be like half of that is 8, so that would be 0.24. So that would be roughly like 1.9 times damage. So this basic attack will be an increase from 1.6566 to 1.9 in terms of damage coefficient. Where can I see the patch note? In the description? Description, you can read the patch notes. And the second thing is going to be Run and Gun, the ultimate ability, which is a good thing because the Gunslinger is all about the ult. The cooldown has been decreased from 40 seconds to 33 seconds, which is pretty good considering that that is essentially a free chronomatic emblem flask or cooldown reduction. So from 40 seconds to 33 second decrease in the ultimate ability, that's good. That's better. That's a little bit better sustain. It means that you don't have to spam as many flasks on the Gunslinger to maintain the ult. And they also increase the ultimate ability duration by 1 second. So instead of 10 seconds, 11. Which is not bad. Actually not bad. Basic attack damage increase is okay, but the basic attack is on the Gunslinger is not that great. Actually, it's kind of bad. But the cooldown reduction on the ultimate ability is actually really good because Gunslinger is all about the cooldown on, well, not cooldown, it's all about ult, with especially with class gem. Okay. And that's the Gunslinger. Next up is good old-fashioned Faye. So Faye, first of all, Fairy Dance has the coefficient damage increased by 25%. So Fairy Dance is the ult. Do I even have Chrono? I don't think I got Chrono with this account. Yes, I do have Chrono. As far as I know, this ultimate ability got increased not that long ago. By the way, I'm just trying to read out the whole patch notes. I will start reading chat a little bit later, so if anyone asks any question, you can just answer them. I will try my best not to get too distracted in just trying to read out chat. My apologies on that one, but yes. Fairy Dance is the ultimate ability. As far as I know, how much damage is that? Isn't it like 3 times damage currently right now? Let me double check. Neon Ninja, Candy Barbarian, Ice Age, Fire Captain, Boomerang, Tomb Raider, Fade. Where's the Fade? God damn it. Oh, there's the Fade. It is 3.5. So 3.5, multiply that by 1.25. So it will be roughly doing close to 4.4 times damage post buff. That is per staff. So per stave, it will be doing 4 times damage each. Or roughly like close to 4.5 times damage each instead of 3.25. Which is not bad considering that it is 3 of them. So that's like 13, 14 times damage per second, which is pretty strong considering that you can have 2 ults. And even more so right now that the cooldown has been reduced from 40 seconds to 30 seconds, so you can now spam it or have double ultimate ability much easier. So Fate Trickster is going to have better consistent DPS. That and Glitter Bomb has been decreased from 30 energy to 25. So you can essentially just throw 1 more. No, you can still, I mean, it generally doesn't matter because it just allows you to spam it more consistently. Doesn't matter too much, the ability is okay. You don't need to spam it that much. But the ultimate ability changes is actually pretty good, especially cooldown reduction and the damage increase. The damage increase is actually not bad. Now this is one that is pretty exciting. Unfortunately, I will not be able to just showcase many things. The good thing is that all of the changes on the Vanguardian is melee related. It's on melee mode related. And that is going to be Hero's Charge. Oh wait, hold on. Did they mistakenly just made... Or is it one of the hidden effects on the... Did they... Don't tell me that they mistakenly just put in Hero Charge as Force Flash. Force Flash as Hero's Charge. God damn it. You have one job. Why the hell do you call this a Hero's Charge? Ain't no way that has to be like Force Flash. Let me just check the hidden effects on the... Let's pray hidden effect Vanguardian. Please. Did they? No, it's Hero Stand. The hidden effect is Hero Stand, no Hero Charge. So so they mistakenly just they called this ability Hero's Charge, even though it is Force Flash. That's going to be pretty confusing to a lot of people. But yes, Force Flash normally has a 20-second cooldown, as you could probably tell right down there. It got reduced to 15 seconds of cooldown. In my own personal opinion, it should be way less. It should be like 10 seconds. In my own personal opinion, it should be like a toggle ability. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. This ability should be toggle ability. You just activate it and just have it. Because at the end of the day, it's not that... Well, it's a pretty good ability, but having a cooldown kind of sucks. I mean, it doesn't matter. The class gen on the Vanguardian is that. Here's Charge is number 2. Is it the one that you go from range mode to melee mode? That's what they call that's the Hero's Charge? It must be like... If that's the case, it kind of sucks then. Trove Vanguardian. I'm pretty sure. It is. It actually is. I just checked the wiki. Yes, Hero's Charge is the old one that you go from range to melee. Dios mío, maldita sea, ¿por qué? Okay. Scratch that. Sucks. Ass. Basura. Caca. What the hell is this? So the cooldown on range mode to melee mode has been reduced from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. I was kind of like happy. It was like, oh yes, Force Flash, woohoo, kinda nice, yippee. Oh, guess I was wrong. I just gave too much credit, I guess. Jesus Christ. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, Hero's Charge is from range to melee mode. So when you leap forward, that's the one. Reduced to 15 seconds, so no one uses range mode. Anyways, moving on. Next up is the I-Beam, this ability right here. Energy reduction from 70 to 60. 60 is still quite a lot. It's considering that you can just spam this ability, and this ability is really not that strong. In my own personal opinion, it should be 40 or even 30. Even 40 or 30, it would be kind of okay. Then it is going to be this one is not bad, and that is the melee coefficient. Basic attack increase has been, well, the basic attack has been increased from 3.85 to 4.5 times damage, which is the same damage as the uppercut. So that is a pretty big buff on the basic attack, which is kind of okay if you actually just think about it, because on the Vanguardian, after you hit with the uppercut, if you hold down the basic attack, pretty much all of your basic attack will be doing 4.5. What they essentially just did is just remove this first two doing 3.85, so now every single one will be doing 4.5. Which is pretty strong. It's a strong basic attack now. Well, it's always been pretty strong, but now it's like actually really good. This is now a really good basic. 4.5 times damage is no joke. And then the last one is going to be when you activate Hero's Charge. So when you go from range mode to melee mode, you're going to get a 50 boost to your maximum health regeneration stability. As far as I know, that only lasts for like what, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. More health regen and stability is okay, but that doesn't last too long. And I disconnected my controller. God damn it. So, all right. But yeah, that's the Vanguardian. Essentially, the only good notable change is the basic attack. The I beam reducing the energy to 60 is not that great. And the hero's charge thing just sucks. Pretty much. Next up, it is... Oh boy, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be pretty happy regarding this character in particular. Pirate Captain. So, Pirate Captain received some pretty nice buffs. Well, 2 buffs, in fact. And one of them is this ability. So, the first mate is essentially the main damage from the Pirate Captain. It's where you get the majority of the damage if you're not doing like ultimate ability and just spamming many ults. And even if you're spamming many ults, your first mate is usually the one that will be doing the most amount of damage. So with this ability right here will do, if you do manage to fully upgrade it. There we go. Thank you. So this ability it does quite a lot of damage. I believe it does 10 times damage per shot. And it's shooting like this. If you do have the class gem, right now you can throw 2 of them, which is insane. And then now, with this update, now you can throw 3 of them. Pirate Captain is going to be dishing out some insane DPS. Just saying. Combine that with the ultimate ability now having a 35-second cooldown instead of 40, which is pretty good. But being able to have 3 first mate doing essentially 20 times damage per second per turret, you can have 3 of them. That's some pretty insane damage. That's 60 times damage per second. Not bad, not bad. Now, next up, it is not you. But yeah, that's the Pirate Captain. Pirate Captain received some pretty nice buffs. That's why I put it in the thumbnail. Yes, Pirate Captain has been plus. Definitely plus. This is a good buff. Not the hero's charge BS that, yes, reduce the cooldown by 5 seconds. Nice. No, this is a good buff. This is a strong one. This will increase the Pirate Captain quite a lot. Next up, it is the Revenant. So Revenant has received 3 changes. 3 changes. First of all, the damage increase effect of Vengeful Spirit, which is your passive ability. It's been increased from 5 to 15%. So whenever you do hit an enemy, you are going to have this effect. That will make all of your attacks, or I believe it's like you and all the nearby players. Increasing damage for all sources. I believe it's only on the Revenant. Doesn't matter. I don't know if it is every player. Doesn't matter. But yeah, this debuff right here, right now is 5%. You do 5% more damage after you do tag them with either is it the Bulwark Bash or is it just basic? No, it's just basic. So after you do tag them with the basic attack and you do have this right here, you will be doing, like right now you do 5% more damage. With this buff, now you will be doing 15% more damage. So pretty nice increase. That means that all of your damage is going to be doing more. So everything right here will be doing essentially 10% more damage, which is not bad. That's a pretty good buff. 10% damage is quite a lot, considering that you will be doing millions and millions of damage. Secondly is going to be Spirit Storm, which is your ultimate ability, has been reduced from 40 seconds to 30 seconds. Spirit Storm is a pretty good ability, so that's a pretty nice buff. So 30 seconds of cooldown on your ultimate ability. So Spirit Storm, instead of just right now you're seeing it's 40, now it's going to be 30. And also, whenever you use the ability, you can actually just see it says cost 20% health on use. It's now going to be 15%. Doesn't matter too much, but considering that you will be healing all of that like immediately. And then the other thing is going to be Spirit Spears is going to reduce the amount of HP that you do take from 5% to 4%, which again is all right, considering that you can easily just see right here I'm just healing all of that real quickly, so it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, that's the Revenant. Revenant essentially will be doing 10% more damage if you do tag them with the basic, which is not bad. And then next up is going to be the Dracolite. So Dracolite has gotten a pretty good increase in damage. So the basic attack coefficient has been increased by 50%. And it's a lot of damage, by the way. Right now it does 1.5 times damage. Or is it 2 times damage? No, it's 1.5. Right now it does 1.5. So Dracolite will be doing 2.25 times damage per basic attack. But the thing is that I do not know if this also applies on your ultimate ability. Because the ultimate ability basic attack is also, your basic attack is essentially stronger. It will do, I don't remember how much is it. Is it 5.5 or is it 3.5? I don't remember. Is it 3 times damage? It does double damage essentially, basic attack. I believe it is like you do like double damage on basic attack, which is 3 times damage. Let me double check. Where's Dracolite? Where is Dracolite? Burning War, Burn Offering. Where the hell did I put in the Dracolite? Let me double check right here. Search. Search on the wiki. Dracolite. So Dracolite on ult is 3 times damage, yeah. So 3 times damage. So if it also includes this one, then the basic attack will be doing 4.5. So 4.5 times damage. If this also applies to the ultimate ability, the damage increase. And then lastly is going to be the Dragonborn. Dragonborn, I believe, is a hidden effect. And Dragon 4, Dragonborn. So Dragonborn is... No, that is not... Damage increase effect from Dragonborn. So do they mean that Fireborn? Do they really mean... Because Dragonborn is an actual ability, by the way. It's a hidden effect, but the Dragonborn hidden effect is the one that spawns a minion, a burnt offering, whenever you use a dodge. I think they meant Fireborn with this one, because it will cause the enemy to burn, which will cause that effect right there, allowing you to do more damage. The damage increase has been, well, the damage is going to be from 2.5% to 10%. So whenever you apply the basic, so same thing as the Revenant, whenever you do attack with the basic attack, all players will be doing 10% more damage instead of 2.5%, which is good. And the last change is the Tomb Racer, which is an okay change. He essentially just made all of the minions have 20% more health. So it will take longer not only to just get deleted. I don't even have a staff equipped, but they will also last longer from what I could tell. And yeah, those are all of the changes. The two big ones that I will say is Gunslinger is a potentially like good change, like a pretty insane change considering the cooldown reduction and increased duration on the ultimate ability is really good. And definitely the Pirate Captain 1, it is 3 first mate is actually really good in terms of DPS. And also Faye's ultimate ability doing more damage is actually not bad either. But some of these increases have been like not that great, if I'm being honest with you. Vanguardian 1 in particular is not that great. Maybe all the exception is the basic attack increase. The Revenant is alright. A cooldown reduction to the ultimate ability is pretty good. Dracula's basic attack increase by 50% is only good if this includes the ultimate ability, but outside of that, like, I don't know. But yeah, and those are all of the changes to all of the characters. Overall, needs some love. So to some of the characters, Colormancer 1 sucks. So just as a TLDR, Colormancer got an increase to the healing and mini bloom spawn, which sucks. Gunslinger got an increased damage to the basic attack and more, like a 1 second duration to the ult and a 7 second cooldown reduction to the ult. Fey Trickster got an increased damage to the ultimate ability and a cooldown reduction from 40 to 30 seconds on the ult. And Glitter Bomb, the bomb that you throw on the ground, is now 25 energy instead of 30. Vanguardian is going to have the cooldown reduction on the this is so stupid, on the change from range mode to melee mode. That got a cooldown reduction from 20 to 15 seconds. And now you also get a increased health regen and stability. The basic attack got an increased damage from 3.85 to 4.5. Now every single basic attack will do the same as the uppercut, which is good. And the I-beam still costs a lot of energy. Instead of 70, it's 60. Pirate Captain, like I just mentioned, being able to throw down one more first mate, which is your main turret, with and without the class gem. So now instead of just being 1 without the class gem and 2 with the class gem, it's now going to be 2 without the class gem, 3 with the class gem, which is a good thing. And Man of War, the ultimate ability is a cooldown reduction from 40 to 35 seconds. The Revenant, the buff on the debuff damage increase that you do get is going to be, instead of 5, it's going to be 15%. The ultimate ability 30 seconds instead of 40. And Spirit Spears now will cost less health. Instead of 4 or 5%, it's now 4%. Dracula is an increase 50% to the basic attack. Doesn't mention if it is with the ultimate ability included. And the Fireborn, even though it says Dragonborn on right there, the burn effect that you do apply when you do hit with the basic attack has been increased from 2.5% to 10%. And the minion have 20% more health on the Tomb Racer. Now, here's going to be some of the things just based on the characters that we got. What I would do to improve upon them, because some of them kind of suck. Chloromancer. Give the character the damage back that it had before the Shadowy Spotlight. This character's whole shtick is going to be the whole, the whole thing regarding DPS, single target DPS, not even being close to the top of the DPS chart. Well, it's kind of close, but yeah, and the Chloromancer needs an increase in damage. The whole thing with the Chloromancer is bossing, is single target bossing. Not being like particularly the best at it, or rather even being on even top 2. Kinda sucks. So I do feel like the Chloromancer needs to have all of the damage number that he had before the Shadowy Spotlight. Chloromancer, in my own personal opinion, was best when it was the top DPS on single target bossing. Because it sucked at literally everything else. It's not good at dungeon, it's not good with Delve Clear. It was only really good against single target bossing. I don't know why like the character got nerfed the way that it did. But yeah, as a Chloromancer, in my own personal opinion. Gunslinger, I do feel like the thing that they did with the Gunslinger, making it, basic attack is slightly stronger and the cooldown reduction on the ult is just better. But in my own personal opinion, they should just make the class gem just no longer have the attack speed reduction. Because that, to me, that is just completely just dumb. The Gunslinger should not have an attack speed reduction when you're activating your ultimate ability. It should just have its own regular attack speed. With that will just make the character just do more DPS consistently. Just take full advantage of the Gunslinger having the second fastest basic attack in the game. It's kind of backwards just to have a attack speed reduction. My own personal opinion, that should not be a thing. Fate Trickster. I do feel that the Fate Trickster has gotten some pretty nice buffs right now, but to me, Glitter Bomb should do a little bit more. I don't know. But the thing is like you can easily just maintain the Fate Trickster. Like, I don't know what I would do with the Fate. I'm gonna be honest with you. Instead of just doing like some insane changes and just be like, oh yes, no, this character needs this, and that. Like right now, Fate Trickster, I feel like the basic attack should have a little bit better AoE whenever you do hit an enemy. That to me, that should be a little bit better. Just like a mini AoE explosion dealing similar to like a blast bow, but not that big, it's slightly smaller. I do feel that would be a little bit better for the Fae. I don't know. But outside of that, like I like the buffs on Fae right now. Vanguardian. I thought that the changes was to Force Flash instead of the Hero's Charge, which is from range to melee mode. They should just buff Force Flash. The Force Flash on Vanguardian is honestly, I should be just on Xbox so I can just show everything a little bit better rather than just being right here on PC, but hey, whatever. But Force Flash, this ability right here should be on 10-second cooldown. Or 15-second cooldown if you want to be generous. Or not generous, or if you want to be stingy, rather. This should be a 15-second cooldown, not the Hero's Charge BS. I-Beam should not be 60 energy, it should be 30 or 40 at most. Considering that a lot of abilities that are just as spammable at night with the Spirit Squire. I don't even have Spirit Squire on this. Fate Trickster with Glitter Bomb. All of those abilities just take way too little energy. Candy Barbarian with the Vanilla Whirlwind with Spin to Win is 30 energy. Ice Age is 20 energy on Ice Crash. Like most of the spammable ability is really low energy, but for some reason Vanguardian is 70 right now and it goes to 60. Should be like also in line with everything else with 30 or even 40. And the basic attack buff is good. They should also just give a basic attack buff to range mode as well. Not just melee. Melee and range mode. Range mode should also get a damage increase. And that's about it for now. Fire Captain, I do feel the Fire Captain got a really nice buff. Three first mate is actually not bad. This is a welcome change. Not many changes. Not many things talking about this. Rev, on the other hand, Rev should have a stronger basic. Rev should be doing more damage. I think Revenant should be doing like 5 times damage on basic. Instead of like currently 4.2 times damage. Thing is that Revenant does basic attack is really slow and it doesn't have good AoE. Like look at this. Starts sitting like right here. And like right here. Compare that to Knight, which by the way is faster and stronger. Like I am hitting enemies like all the way over here. Right? Right, just to me, like the Revenant being this, it should be just better. But outside of that, like I do feel Revenant is such an underrated class that people don't even realize it. Like Revenant is actually a really, really underrated class. It's not bad. Dracolite, to me, the Dracolite. Here's the thing with Draco. Spitfire kind of sucks. I know someone, what I like to call the Draco main is going to be upset, but Spitfire kind of sucks. Right? It's pretty much single target. You have to, if you miss, you have to charge it again. And then what you get is like 6.45 times damage. Like you're charging everything for a 6 times damage ability. For a 6.5 times damage ability. So in other words, you're charging so much just to get essentially a Fate Trickster basic. Like what? Why does it say credits right here? A game wants me to spend credits or something. But I feel it needs... Draculin needs a little bit more, in my own personal opinion. The basic attack changes is alright, but I do feel like... Make the Draculite just not have any movement speed reduction on the basic attack. That would be fun. Just running around without any movement speed penalty while holding the basic attack. That would be absolutely hilarious. Same goes with the dragon. It just be like, just burning everything down. That would be hilarious. That would be fun. And Tomb Raider, like, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Tomb Raider, an increase to the minion. Minions should not even be taking damage. I don't know why the hell do minion take damage. They should not be taking any damage. You said, like, the Tomb Raider is okay, but I think it just needs a little bit more love. Now, what are some of the classes that I'm very surprised that didn't get any changes? Lunar Lancer did not get any changes, which is super surprising, considering that Lunar Lancer without its ultimate ability is okay at best. He can do his damage output. Maybe they just thought like, oh well, it has Need for Speed and it's pretty fast. And a lot of people just use it because it's that. But outside of the ult, this basic attack is not that great. Like, I don't know why it has like the limit of 240. None of the abilities are particularly that good. It'll be fun if you can just do like a lot of movement speed shenanigans. Like, you can technically kind of do, but very surprised that this character did not receive a buff. This ability sucks. And outside of that, like, pretty much this is pretty strong. The Lunar Lancer on ult, it does a lot of damage, but outside of ult, it's just kind of alright at best. I'm also very surprised that they didn't touch up on the knight, considering that like, you already know how much I love my knight. Of course. I've said this many times, knight is pretty strong right now, but it has so many weak abilities. Smash sucks. Charge, oh, I do have the classroom. I thought I didn't have it. Regular charge is just not that great. Ultimate ability is not that great. The only thing that this character has going for it is like, this is a good ability for building speed, and this is just an insane basic attack. And I'm very surprised, considering that many people have been just asking, oh yes, Knight should be the one that gets the rework, and is the only class, well, not the only class, that's one of the classes that did not receive any changes whatsoever. Very interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the patch notes. The other things regarding the patch note is that the Golden Horde Dragon, like the Luxion Dragon, now you can buy 30 per week instead of 15. The venturing caches that you do get from donating inside the Trials of Luxion will drop more. The Trials of Luxion, the item pool, like the item pool that you do get in the Trials of Luxion, now it can also spawn on Fluxion. Still sucks because it still costs dragon coins. All of the elemental worlds, for some reason, by the way, it says Igneous Island, Cursed Island, and Dran World. It doesn't say Geotopside. But as far as I know, Geotopside is also there as well. But I haven't double checked. But yes, at least Igneous Island, Cursed Island, and Drowned World, it will now be available along Shade. New wings and sigils have been added for higher mastery levels, which I'm pretty sure there are screenshots and all of that regarding all of that, like all of the new sigils. But yes, I believe it now goes up to mastery 1100 and the power rank of 265,000, I think. I think it is like 65k, I believe so. And the 55 55,000 power rank, it starts using the color scheme from like the 1000 mastery, say Joe. And yeah, that's the whole patch notes. Once again, Mystic Gem is quite worrisome, to say the least. Very worrisome. Super expensive. It is really awful. It is not only very expensive, and it doesn't grant that much test. So similarly to Mystic Gear, Mystic Gem is not that good, and it is very expensive. Let me see if I can log in onto the test server. Fingers crossed, please. Let me log in onto the test server. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's see. Nope. You can see it right here. It gets stuck like in this login. That's the issue that's been going on. That is tragic, man. That is really tragic, man. Very, very tragic, unfortunately. Alright. So, if you guys now got any questions, I'll try my best to answer from what I know and from what I've read. You can just go ahead now, start discussing stuff. Now, unfortunately, I can't play on this stupid test server. Otherwise, I would just be showcasing Long Shade and getting Mystic Gems and getting all of that, but I can't. And just upgrading all of the gems, like I would love to just showcase everything, or at least just do some off-stream grinding and just have everything down. Can we do gem keys on gem box? A good question. I'm pretty sure you can, but not 100% sure. Let me check. I think someone opened. Did anyone open any of these? But I'm pretty sure you can, but I am not 100% sure. I wish I could just test it out, but you can actually just see the problems with the test server. It was just lagging like crazy, that you could barely get out of the hub, and it would just constantly just keep disconnecting until one point that it wasn't like not loading anything, and ever since it crashed, I can log in like again, which is unfortunate, but that's where we at right now. But just to give some of my quick thoughts also on some of the other mechanics, combat block sucks. I do feel like it just needs to be retooled completely. It just is pretty bad. Survivability is not that big of an issue as people make it out to be. Like, the Define Vial is not that insanely important outside of like very deep delving. DDV is like, there's so many lifesteal in this game that you can easily just survive many things. So we don't need a weaker DDV. since we already have a lot of lifesteal. That is far easier to obtain and far stronger. In my own personal opinion, combat block should be damage reflection or something like that. So we actually incentivize players to have higher quote-unquote defensive stats. Maybe you can just use a max health stability weapon or max health movement speed weapon on like a lunar lancer or something like that, so you can do DRs. But yeah, a good damage reflect would be really good. We don't need a lot of defensive stuff, we need more offensive stuff, especially for melee characters. Because that's usually the problem with melee characters. The problem with melee character is that you have to run into the enemy and you don't have anything to make the enemy run towards you if they're ranged enemies. But in the case of ranged characters, you can essentially just do the bungee jump or like the shadow hunter technique or whatever you want to call it. Like the fact that you can just jump all the way up and all of the enemies, including ranged enemies, are going to go right below you. And of course, you are much safer and you can attack from farther away. That's essentially going to be better for the ranged character. Melee characters do not have that luxury. And that's why characters like the Boomeranger Cyclone is really good, because it pulls all enemies towards you, including ranged enemies. I think having something that will help enemies just get closer to you or just get punished if they attack you, that would be a little bit better rather than just having better survivability. Because as it stands right now, the survivability is not essentially needed. Which is why it's pretty disappointing. It's like a really, really disappointing thing. Also, Mystic Gems. Mystic Gem is too expensive currently right now. And it barely grants you any stats increase. Well, at least any light increase. I don't know much about the other stats. I'm pretty sure the other stats are going to be somewhat substantial, but the light increase is not that much. It's like the equivalent of just having the litany buff or not. It still might take you a little bit to just complete dungeons. This is alright, I don't mind it, but considering that it costs 200 to get a Mystic Gem conversion is far too much. This Mystic Gem to me is like the same problem that I've been having with Trove lately a whole lot. They're trying to just make an update cater towards people that have everything rather than just have an update that is catered towards everyone. I don't know, like max out players like myself, I'm pretty sure I could just, depending on how much it will cost on the store, I could just have all of the Mystic Gems on, at least on my knight, right? But that's about the average player who is just already building up to long shade. They don't have anything. They essentially have to grind. What? Let me just explain. Trove's progression right now is not linear. It feels like you're going up to steps. So the first step is like getting to 30,000 power rank. Once you get to 30,000 power rank, that's when you get your crystal gem, crystal force. Well, consistent crystal force, but you can still get crystal force before 30k. But at least your crystal gem, that's when you get your big leap in PR. And then you essentially just do all of that grinding. You replace all of your stellar gems that you grinded to get to 30,000 with crystal gems. And then you spend all that time leveling up the crystal gems, which will take you a whole lot longer. And then all of that just to get to mystic gems. So essentially just start all over again. See what I mean? Like it starts off like really, like you are not essentially just building up the character from scratch. You're essentially just clearing stages. This game is essentially just turning into a roguelite. Oh yes, I powered up all the way to 30,000 power rank. Oh boy, and let me just start all over again. New game plus be like, let me just get my crystal gems. Oh boy, let me just max out all of my crystal gems to level 30 because I had to level them up to level 30 in order for me to enter Longshade in the first place. And oh boy, finally I got to Longshade. Oh, I have to now grind Mystic Gem from the get-go. So all of the resources that I spent to get myself my crystal gems, I had to essentially just do the same thing with Mystic Gems. New game plus essentially. And then they just try to make it like, oh no, but you can use conversion. And then once you do see the conversion, it's like, oh, the conversion costs resources that you, first of all, that you do need, that you do get on Longshade in the first place. So it's not like you can get the resources for conversion before entering Longshade, so you can get an easier, so you can just complete it easier, so you can just do all of the like everything related to Longshade easier. No, essentially all of the resources for conversion is the same problem that I had with getting crystal and power gems in the first place. Crystal and power gems, I believe you needed Phoenix modes, and Phoenix modes you needed to be 30,000 power and to actually just get them. So it was so pointless to actually just get crystal gems in the first place, like crystal and power gems. And now with Mystic Gems, you need Souls of the Depth. And Souls of the Depth is Longshade. And there's no... It's so dumb. It is not worth it, like, at all. Unless you already have the insane amount of resources to get to do the conversion, especially with the store, which is probably going to be the only way to do all of that. Unless you can just do the conversion on the store, it's definitely not worth going for. It's just do the same thing that we did with like the crystal gems, where you had to essentially grind all of the gems all over again. Which for alt characters is alright. I don't mind grinding for alternate characters, but for players who will only have like one or maybe two characters, it's just not good. This is not good. And we cannot use like, oh yes, but they can just sell it to the players, so players can just spend money on the game. But if you actually just think about it, barely anyone's going to spend anything on this. This is not even good business-wise either. I'm just saying, like, it's not smart. This is not a smart addition to the game. I will buy the I will buy the converters on the store for sure. It will more than likely cost qubits. I got like 1.7 mil qubits on my personal account, but it still is. It's not okay. It's not okay. I'm just gonna say that this is not okay. Like there isn't a lot of things. There isn't a lot of things saving this thing unless they unless they retool, rebalance, and redo a lot of things. A lot of like essentially they just rethink about pretty much everything. Because as it stands right now, not good. Definitely not good. It's still day one test server, but knowing the track record on the developers lately, I don't see a lot of changes going on. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure they just added all of this just to make deep delving, at least the depths delving and getting mystic gear just easier. As far as I know, I do not know if you can actually just get, not 100% sure by the way, if you can actually get mystic gear with over 50,000 power rank. As far as I know, I've heard people that you can get mystic gear at 50,000 power rank from vaults. But it doesn't matter because what? Mystic gear doesn't look collect into anything. It look collects into the same thing as Crystal 5. Or even less, I don't know, but it look collects into like barely anything. I'm just reading the stuff on Discord, by the way. Do they think healer is a thing in this game? Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay. Yeah, into depth cores, also the depths, both of them. Like similar to what they did with Crystal Gem conversion. Oh, conversion. Crystal Gear. What the hell did I just said? Crystal Gear with Crystal Gear. Crystal Gem conversion. I don't know why the hell I just said Crystal Gem conversion. I don't know. My brain just went autopilot for a second. But with Crystal Gear, whenever they add it on vaults, or rather, whenever they just made it so that you can get resources from loot collecting, they could do the exact same thing, but with Mystic gear, for sure. But at the same time, that would be what, 50,000 power rank to actually just get consistently, and getting 50,000 power rank is not going to be easy. Just think about it, like, how much would it take for a player to get to 50,000 power rank so they can consistently just get depth cores? And it's also the depths and deep stone and all of that. Think about that for a sec. Like that takes so long. That is way too much. I don't know what the hell they're thinking lately. I feel they're just pushing the players too much. I think that we're getting to this point where they're pushing the players far too much. They don't have any semblance of balancing. Well, they never had, but now it's really, really like getting to a really bad point. It's getting really bad. Really, really bad. Because think about this for a second. Let's just say you are someone who is just starting off. You need to get to 30,000 power rank first. Once you do get to 30,000 power rank, which could take you a week or 2 weeks, let's just say, if you are getting help. Like nowadays, it should take you easily less than a week, considering all of the duped items that will help you boost your PR. But let's just say on more casual average player, let's just say a month. Let's just say it takes you a month to get to 30,000 power rank. Let's just put it like very, very casually. Then once you actually reach to 30,000 power rank and you start grinding crystal gems, it will take you so long to get to 40,000 power rank, because you still need to get some dragons, some mastery, and whatever, like many other things. All of that takes you a whole pretty long time. Then leveling up all of your gems to level 30, so you can actually have enough power rank to enter Longshade. Once you finally enter Longshade, you can grind some Mystic Gem and just get some extra power rank. But you have to take into account that you had to grind from the beginning again. And that is also assuming that you have someone to help you out inside Longshade, because normally with 10,000 light you don't do anything inside in that portal. You don't do anything, like, at all. Even though it says 10,000 light, I believe you need 11,000 light to do damage in dungeons. So that alone is going to take you quite a while, all the way until you do reach to 45,000 power rank, which I don't know if even with Mystic Gem, would it be even possible to reach to 45,000 power rank with level 30 Mystic Gems, essentially? With barely any dragons? Or do you still need quite a lot of dragons? Because as far as I know, it's like maximum 270 power rank per gem on the Empower gems, so that's 4. Let me just go all the way over there. Let me check. Let me double check. How much was it again? Is there like 165 power rank? Oh boy, it's 0 power rank. My bad. Because for some reason a level 30 Mystic Gem and a level 30 Crystal Gem have the exact same power rank. Why? So you don't get any benefit from just getting a Mystic Gem level 30 versus a Crystal level 30 in terms of PR. You do get stats, but you don't get any PR. And 270, so you get like what, like 1,000 power rank? So from Empower Gems, until that's barely anything. So you need to upgrade your Mystic Gems to 35 in order for you to actually just get to 45,000 power rank. So you can get Crystal level 5. And then once you do get Crystal level 5, you need to upgrade that Crystal level 5 so you can get Mystic and start grinding Mystic gear. Do you have any idea how much that takes? And that's also taking into account like grinding dragons alongside all of that. That is pushing it. That is pushing it way too much. And I know someone is just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It is. I'm not saying this because it's something that is like that. I'm not saying this because I cannot get mystic gems, because I am maxed out. I can probably, with the current resource, I could probably just get it. But I'm just saying this as talking from a general standpoint, from a general player base. Is leveling a mystic from, yes, from what I could tell, at least on lesser gems, yes, it's the exact same power rank. I believe you get more stats, but it's the exact same power rank. Maxed out, max PR, level 30 mystic gem currently right now on lesser gem is 2550, which is the same as crystal. Oh, leveling cost? Don't know. I haven't checked. I would assume yes. Air conditioner was loud as hell. God damn. Also, yeah, crystal mystic class gem. If there's any mystic class gem. If there's not, then you have to do a conversion regardless with one of the gems as mandatory. I just realized that right now. So you're essentially just forced to at least do one conversion on one of your gems. I mean, you had to be essentially forced to do conversion on all of your power gems at the very least. This is disgusting. Oh, Google document. Gem tables. Got it. What is this Google document? Oh, so they already have the Google document ready for all of the mystic gem, but they haven't put in anything yet. You're essentially just forced to convert, well, not all gems, because you can still technically grind the mystic, but yes, I see. But at the very least, if you do have 100% of your gems, then yes, you are essentially just forced to convert everything, which sucks. But at the very least, just getting a perfect full set of gems is not that difficult. And it doesn't take too long. Like, it shouldn't take too long. But at the very least, like, augmenting is going to be the problem. For sure. Because of the bound brilliance. It's going to be exactly the same thing that as the crystal gem, but much, much, much worse. Will PTS be playable to? I don't know. Like, it is playable to some players. Some players can play it, but the majority of the players cannot log in. Which is unfortunate. Because they really don't realize. They just essentially just dropped. It's again, this is the same thing that this is my exact same problem as Mystic Gear. Mystic Gem, it has the exact same problem as Mystic Gear. They essentially just dropped it in like in the game and didn't balance anything else. They didn't balance anything beforehand and they just dropped that in. That's it. And then just made it obscenely expensive and just be like, oh, well, have fun with that one. Like, that's it's not good. I am praying and hoping that they rebalance all of this. But knowing track record, I don't see it. I really don't see it. This is really bad. Really bad. Mystic Gem is really bad. The more I see it, the more I see like screenshots from Discord, gets worse and worse and worse. Because the more I think about it, because I'm just sitting right here just thinking about it, it's like, how expensive is it going to be to do the conversion, at least from the store? All of the levels prior to level 30, how long is it going to take? Is it going to be just as difficult as Crystal Gems? At least it ain't as bad as Mystic Gear. That's not that good comparison though. It's not a good comparison. Mystic Gear is one of the worst things that they added into the game, and just doing a comparison to that is not good. It's just bad. Still subject to change, but this is bad. Mystic Gear is definitely one of the worst things that they've implemented into this game. It is egregiously bad. At least this one, you can get it earlier than Mystic Gear. So that's at least one thing, and there's other options, even though the other options just sucks ass. The other options are like store and conversions and all of that. At least there is that option, but they're just pushing it. So going to be yeah, I would assume it's going to be at least double the amount, which is not good because that would be 30,000 qubits per. Or in other words, what? 10 days, 10 to 11 days worth of dailies if you have Patreon. 10 to 11 days worth of dailies for one with Patreon. Just for barely any stats. That's not taking into account that you do need those qubits for constellation keys. For star chart. And all of the store items. Wow. I will most definitely just upgrade my knight. Yes, under upland stable, yes. You need so much qubits from that as well. That is true. Like, I believe like this star chart alone is like what, like 600,000 or 700,000 qubits to fully max out. I need to double check, but it is a lot. And then that's not taking into account the crystal gem conversion, because you still need to convert your empower gems. Because getting crystal empower gems regularly is kind of ass, unless they decide to put in crystal gems on regular empower gem boxes. You know, the other funny thing is, I just realized, god damn it. You can still technically get 2-star empower gems. So imagine if you just put in so much time and effort in getting an empowered gem, Mystic Empower Gem, and get a 2-star. You spend so many resources on a Mystic Empowered Gem. You're like, yeah, I finally got a Mystic Empowered Gem. Open it and get a 2-star. You know, the thing is, that happened to me on my PC account, but with crystal gems. With a crystal empowered gem. A crystal empowered gem, literally, I spent so much to actually just get a crystal empowered gem and ended up getting a 2-star. Low power rank, fully max health. I believe it was a Vampire and Vanquisher. So just imagine that. Think about that for a sec. Imagine you literally just spent so much and it just end up getting a 2-star. Let me restart the game. See if I can see if that works. Nope, that did not work. Wow, I'm just like right now I'm just thinking. Just thinking about it. How long would it take a new player or the average player to even get to 50,000 power rank so they can get Mystic on Vaults? Imagine that. they're expecting the players to play at least minimum 2 years if you even want to sniff the end game. What do you think the Draco about? What do you think about Draco after patch? It's the same character, not that strong. Depends on the ult. Depends on if the ult also got buffed in his basic attack, and even if it did, is all right at best. Basic attack on the Draco is really not that much of a difference, or that big of an increase from, or not as big of an increase, that big of a part of the Draco's kit. Dupe messed up the value of everything, yeah. Pretty much. The new update is all good except the converter costing souls. Debatable. Calling all the other things good. It's like good ideas on the other stuff, like the combat block is good idea, but it's just super poorly executed. And the character rebalancing is always good. That's definitely a thing, but Mystic Gems in general just sucks. What about like Faye or Gunslinger? Faye Trickster is going to be somewhat the same. The ultimate ability is going to be a pretty nice buff on the character. Gunslinger, on the other hand, might be feeling a little bit better considering that it's better. Gotta love neighbors. Is going to have a better feel because better uptime. How is the block implemented then? It's going to work. So imagine being like an extra little shield. I can just explain it. It's like a little shield that is next to your health bar that you can just increase it, and it's going to function like a pseudo death-defying vial, essentially. And that's about it. Like, it's not that big of an increase. It's kind of there. Because you literally all you do is you essentially just get a weaker death-defying vial, and considering there's so many stuff that will help you heal in this game, and obviously DDP is in this game. Yeah. I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm just trying to be transparent. I know I give props when it's needed, but when it comes to criticizing, I'm going to criticize it. If I see something that I just don't like, I am going to say it. Yeah, block is kind of relevant. Goes back to the argument, why need HP if I can buff my damage enough? Yeah, essentially. And the other thing is like I just mentioned, there's lifesteal in this game. So if you buff your damage, you get more lifesteal. So in other words, you're going to heal more than the enemy is going to deal damage to you. Like, there's no point in having a defensive stat like block, considering there's so many stuff that already helps you survive. To me, block should be better if it was more of, let's just say, like a shield that it regenerates. Like, imagine it like the shield from Halo or Destiny or something like that. You have a shield on your character, and once you get hit, the shield breaks and it's going to deal damage to all enemies around you. Like a damage, like a, also like similar to like a cubic curtain, but for all of the characters, and depending on the character, then the shield is going to be better or worse. They could easily just rebalance that. Absorb the damage and just deal damage to all enemies around you once your shield just fills up. And the shield just builds up if you don't take any damage, or if you do damage to enemies. If you do damage to enemies, it's going to just have it. Yeah, exactly. Like a bubble that builds up over time, and then that will just work way better. In fact, that will work really, really well. Because depending on how strong it's going to be, that's going to make some of the characters just way stronger. Especially the really close range character. And they can just make the shield stronger or weaker depending on the character. Let's just say, for example, let's just put the knight, for example. Let's just say the knight's iron willed. When you activate it, you get that shield duration for the, that bubble, and let's just say that, for the whole duration of the ultimate ability. So every time that you take damage, you will be doing damage to all enemies around it. Simple. That will make the knight's ultimate ability better, and that will just make it more unique. And maybe some abilities to some of the other characters will help it build up much faster. Revenant's Bulwark Bash with the Shield Bash, the Longing from Candy Barbarian, or even the Old. And what else? Lunar Lancer, similar to like the Crescent combo or something like that, or if you hit with the grapple, whatever. Vanguard, and similar to like the Class Gym, when you hit with the uppercut. That will help out, just build it up like a little bit quicker. That would be, to me, that would just be way better than what we have right now. What we have right now, just having essentially a pseudo death-defying vial, just, it's not good. To me, it's just not that good. Yes, I have this like really big so people can just read it. People have an idea what the hell is going on, why am I here? Even though it's should be like pretty obvious, but yeah. But yeah, that, to me, that was the thing that I had in mind when they mentioned block. When they mentioned just the block and something that will help out like really close range character, I was like, oh yes, they're going to add like, that would be pretty cool to have like a damage reflect type of ability that will help out like close range character. If you take damage, you will do damage reflection and all of that, but nope. I guess I was too creative, even though that wasn't even necessarily that creative. It was just felt pretty natural to me. And then the thing is like, I also just realized Well, I didn't realize, but I'm going to just reiterate the same point. Getting to 30,000 power rank is going to be exactly the same thing. So the video that I'm working on, the 0 to 30,000 power rank, by the way, I'm like 40% done with that video. Just if I got to give like a rough estimation, all of the audio is done. Day 1, day 2, intro, day 1, day 2 is done. Day 3, like I've already just readjusted all of the audio. All I need to do is grab footage, and that's about it. And I believe day 3 is the longest section of the video. So if I finish that, day 4, 5, and 6 is going to be just much shorter. But yeah, that video is probably not going to be relevant anytime soon, unless they do any changes to get to 30,000 power rank, which I highly doubt it. At most, what they might do is just change stuff regarding crystal gems. So post 30k. And I know I'm taking my sweet time with that video. I am not rushing that video in the slightest. I'm just trying to enjoy my time making that video. I am not rushing that video in the slightest. But it's going to be a really, really good watch, for sure. There are some funny moments, there is some epic moments, and there is a full length story behind it. Just putting everything down is probably going to be like, what, 30 something minute, probably even 40-minute long, fully edited video. Like usually, just as a little heads up, usually a day, if I just edit for a whole 8 hours, let's just say on a whole day, then I might at least just put in all of the footage and putting all of the footage and at least edit all of the footage, and maybe even just have some of the basics, structure, sound effects, and all of that over there. Then that would be a whole day essentially of editing. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, you can easily just see, can't play the test server. There's not a lot of things for me to discuss. To recap once again, that is the run tab. To recap, for those who have not seen anything, the patch notes is in the description of the stream. You can read it yourself if you want. But in this update, they added combat block, which essentially just going to be a shield that is going to be sitting next to your health bar, and it's going to work similar to a death-defying vial. Stock as right now. There's no other way for me to put it. It's just going to be a weaker version of the death-defying vial. So that's just combat block. Mystic gems, which you can just get it in long shade or difficulty 15, which will be the next tier of gem after crystal. It's going to go all the way up to level 35. It's not that much stronger in terms of stat as far as I know. It is insanely expensive to both upgrade and... First time in stream? Hi, welcome. Just ignore me just complaining. You know, have fun with that one. We're not complaining, at least just doing a recap and just talking about all of the BS. Mystic gems being you know, very extraordinarily, disgustingly expensive, which is not good. And then there will be just like conversion and all of that, but the conversion is also equally as expensive. So yeah, there's going to be a class rebalancing. Several classes receive a buff: Chloromancer, Gunslinger, Fae, and Guardian, Pirate Captain, Revenant, Dracolite, Tomb Raiser. The only notable buffs that made any significant changes, and by significant it's not that much, is Gunslinger, Fae, Trickster, and Pirate Captain. Some of the other ones are just alright at best. PTS on console. PTS is only on PC. You cannot go into the test server on console. I wish, but you cannot. And then some other changes is going to be some increase to venturing in some increase to the venturing rewards for the venturing caches in the Trials of Luxion. More items for Fluxion just to be brought up with the Trials of Luxion in terms of its item pool. And the Golden Horde Dragon is going to have a crafting limit of 30 per week instead of 15. And then they added the new sigils for Mastery and Power Rank. And all of that. TLDR, not a big patch note. But yeah. Okay, Nerfy said that you just remove the class you have to OP on a hunter. Oh wow. Okay, so Abby just said I think it is just a troll right here. Nerfy said they should remove the class Jennifer to OP. Shadowhunter movement speed should be half too. They need to make the boomeranger bow only get rid of them. Jeez. They should delete that night. said Pirate Disc. Pirate Disc is one of the few night mains out there. As 07. Did they put a release date? No. It literally just dropped on the test server. If I have to guess, probably 2 weeks from today. Unless they rush it, which has been the case lately, they will just drop it within a week. But I highly doubt it. They really need to. They cannot mess this update up. Like if they mess it up, then it's going to be really bad. Oh, they had a both PC. Yeah, same, but I doubt it. I doubt that would be the case. Same. But I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that would be the case. But at the very least, yes, they should, at least with this update, unlike Trials of Luxion, which, I mean, they should do the exact same thing with any update, but in the Trials of Luxion, they rushed it in like crazy. They should not rush this update at all. This is a progression update. This is very important for progression in this game. If they mess it up, that is going to affect every player in the game in terms of his progression, and that is just going to make many players just not play this update and probably even quit the game. Just saying. It might sound like I'm exaggerating, but I don't think so. At least many of the higher end players are just going to be like, nope, screw this, I am out of here. They really need to take this update more seriously than some of the other one, because this is a progression update. This is not like the Trials of Lux, in which it was just mainly just changing an NPC, and it was barely tied to progression, like at all. They only added like a dragon and an ally, and that's it. Yeah, they should just rebalance the whole thing. They should just rebalance the whole. They should just rebalance the whole progression. Progression in Trove is, well, at least the whole progression this game is the most important thing by far. Like it shouldn't even be a question, like in the slightest. Unlike some of the updates and events and all of that, progression in this game should be very important, because it's going to affect every player that is currently playing, returning, and new players. It's affecting literally everyone. Everyone is going to be affected by this. And if they implement it poorly, then it's going to affect every single player. Endgame players are going to be, grinding for an unnecessarily long amount of time. Mid-game players are just going to spend so long just to get to a point, and then just grind everything. And then the new players, well, GG's, just have fun just trying to grind everything from the very get-go. Considering that there's so many time-gated resources in this stuff, in this update, and in general. Yeah, they should just, I did mention this before. I think right now, with both the addition of Mystic Gear and now Mystic Gem, and same with the Trials of Luxin, I think they're pushing the players too much. I think they're pushing the players a little bit too much. In my own personal opinion, they are pushing it. Because you had to grind hundreds of hours. I did mention you had to grind hundreds of hours just to even get to Long Shade. Then hundreds of hours for augmentation, hundreds of hours for to get to 45,000 powering, hundreds of hours to get to Mystic Gear, hundreds of hours to upgrade Mystic Gear, and now hundreds of hours to max out Mystic Gems. That's just pushing it. That's just pushing it too much. And then hundreds or even thousands of hours in getting all of the dragons in the game. And all of that is important for progression, and that is just progressing into this game. With a lot of time gated in between. It's a lot of waiting, and frankly speaking, nowadays a lot of people like to wait. People have like really short attention span. That's just how it is. And I get it, it's an MMO. I played MMO for so long, and there's so many of them that, it takes so long to get to a certain point, but at the very least there is a clear goal. You dedicate time and then you get rewarded. I've been playing one of the oldest MMOs out there. It's called Tibia. And that MMO, people are levels 1,000, 2,000, and they hunt creatures. And for someone who is like oh, level 200 or something like that, it feels like, oh my god, it's like so difficult to catch on. But at the end of the day, you have, like, all you need to do is just grind the XP, just play the game, grind the XP. You don't have to wait for anything. You can literally just keep playing the game and you will eventually just catch on. And this game is like, oh, you had to wait for hourly challenges for Dragon Quest. You had to wait for weeklies in order to get Bound Brilliance. You had to wait for weeklies in order to get Empower Gems. You had to essentially just wait for a very specific day on the week to get Souls of the Dev consistently. Like, you had to wait for so long, and it's not that good. The thoughts on rare draws, Phoenix Mode permanent. I mean, I don't mind it for in terms of rare draws, me personally. Phoenix Mode is one of those resources, like I just mentioned, you can just grind it. I know it's a pain in the ass to get, but it's something that you can grind. It's not tied to time gated, you can just grind it, you can just get it. It's not that big of a deal. It takes a little bit, but you can grind it. Is the grind a little bit boring? Yeah. Does it take a little bit too much? Probably. But at least it's something. Same with Permanent Torch. Permanent Torches is like, with Permanent Torches you have a different option once you defeat 250 Leviathans. That's it. You essentially just get it regardless. And for mounts is same thing. Yeah, the Phoenix Mode grind is boring as hell. It's the same thing as the Mystic Gear or Depth Core grinding. It's boring as hell. Very, very boring. But yeah. And again, I've played many MMOs. I played outside of Trove. I played Elder Scrolls Online. I played Guild Wars 2. I played Dungeon Fighter Online, Maple Story, Tibia. What else have I played? I don't know. I mean, you could technically just put in quote-unquote Destiny, but yeah. Yeah, why people AFK preferred? Yeah, because you essentially only get one depth core per 5 star, and you need thousands. You need like 18, 19,000, like close to 19,000 of them for a full master mixes set. That's not counting all the mastery items. That's a lot. But yeah, like I just mentioned, I play all of those MMOs, and at the very least, all of those MMOs, the progression to get to a certain point has been made pretty easy. I mean, Maple Story, for example. Maple Story, you can get to level 200 really easily. Tibia has not been made like that much easier, but characters are much stronger nowadays that you can just essentially just power level like crazy, and it's pretty easy, and pretty much it is very straightforward. Just go there, hunt, and level up. That's it. There isn't like many other things that you have to keep in track of. Oh yes, I need to do this. No, just go in and level up. And The Elder Scrolls Online is pretty easy to level up, and then the champion system is not that difficult, to be honest. And again, you get it just by playing the game, grinding. Get level up. And the other one. A Guild Wars 2, I don't remember too much if I'm being honest with you. And Dungeon Fighter Online, like literally just playing the main story of the game. Just after, if you play every single day, you can eventually just get it rather easily to max level on one character. This, on the other hand, is like, oh, why is getting to 30,000 power rank more difficult than getting from 30 to 38,000 power rank? Why is it more difficult from 26 to 30,000 power rank than 30 to even 35k? Like, what? How does that make any sense? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Because they implemented so many things that you do need in order for progression, and then just at a time gated. Get the same bug on. How long has it? Essentially for a couple of hours. At least in my case, it's been probably like around 3 hours in my case. I think it's been like around 3 hours or so. Yeah, it's been pretty awful. But yeah, the thing is with Trove is like they implemented so many systems that are tied to progression, but they treat it as separate things rather than just being all into one cohesive thing. They for example, they treat the Dragon Coin as something different comparable to the gem system and the augmentation, and then they treat the gear as something completely different from everything else, and then the mastery completely separated from everything else. And then the small section in between all of those things, rather than just being everything to help one that have everything that works together, it's like so many different things that you have to keep track of in order for you to get into one particular goal. Oh, I need to do all of my hourly. If I miss an hourly, I miss dragon coins, so I don't get dragons. Oh, I need to at least do all of my dailies so I can not only get the cubits, but also the diamond dragonite, so I can get diamond dragonite for dragons. Oh, I need to grind out for very specific gems and just get a very specific build, and then I just have to wait for every single week to get Bound Brilliance to augment. Oh, I need to just grind out other places so I can just get gear. Oh, once I am actually just done, I need to... Oh, I want to just increase my mastery. Oh, I need to just stop grinding all of that together and just grind some flux or grind something, grind those materials to actually just increase my mastery level. It's like there's so many things that are separated in this game. And I'm afraid Mystic Gems is going to be that as well. It's completely separated from everything else. The only correlation that it has is like the upgrade from Mystic, from Crystal Gems. Just add the Crystal Gem conversion and that's it. Because it uses a brand new resource to level up from 30 to 35, even though the brand new resource is just more gem dust at the end of the day. And the other thing is, like, if you're not doing conversion, you are essentially just doing all of the grind that you did to increase to level 30. I wish I could just do more, but I wish I could just enter and just check how long does it take to upgrade a Mystic Gem to 30. But I cannot. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything. Also, like the class rebalancing, that would be really good to have a little bit more than what we have right now. I feel like the class or the rebalancing that we got was a little bit underwhelming, if I'm being honest. It's a little bit underwhelming. We haven't gotten a class rework since 2023, by the way. And this is the first class rebalancing since Shadowy Spotlight in 2022. So it's been more than 3 years since a class rebalancing and more than 2 years since the last rework. And also more than 3 years since one class, which was Solarian. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I think that should cover everything. I cannot log into the test server, unfortunately. Unless you guys got more questions regarding this. But I feel like I covered most of the important things. I mean, I can just, I can just try to answer questions, just give opinions on certain things. That's about it. It could be on the update or outside of the update in general. Hey, it could even be outside of Trove, if I'm being honest. But as for me, I don't have a lot of things more to discuss. I think I just covered most of everything. Or at least I talked most of my concerns, or rather all of the important things. I will just try to keep it as transparent as possible. I will not try to sugarcoat it. If I see something that I do not like and I feel that it is pretty bad in my own personal opinion, I will just say it. But I will not try to just be like, oh, but maybe it's not, no. Maybe it's not so bad. No, I am. If it's bad, I'm going to say it's bad. Not for me in particular, because more than likely I will have the resources and materials to get a full set, at least a full set of Mystic. But that will definitely not make it good for the majority of the player base, because I personally, I would prefer more people to just reach or get to a higher portion of the game. I've already seen the end game many times. I've been essentially in the end game for like 6 years now, or probably even more. I've been in the end game for so long. Let's help out some of those newer players to get to the end game as well, rather than just having BS like this and trying to combat the resources that we grinded for so long. Like I just mentioned, like what is it? In like the what was it, like Trazzle Luxem video, or was it like the interview video? I've got more than 11,000 hours in Trove. Naturally, I will have a lot of the items, and naturally, I will be at the to a certain point that is to a lot of people might be considered unachievable. But that's just because I put in so much time on the game. But that doesn't mean that other play like everyone else is expected to put in the same amount of time or even half of the time that I put in into this game. To me personally, that's not a good way to bring in new players, or at least just keep the new players. To me, my own personal opinion is to make them feel like they are just progressing and achieving something, rather than just them being, oh, I just got to a certain point, let me just watch this person, and then just watch someone like me, for example, and they go like, oh wait, well, screw that, I don't want to spend that long and just getting to that point, or I just want to get to that point, and then I just explain how difficult it is to get to the point of the end game, and then they just quit or just stop playing and stop caring and lose motivation because they don't want to spend that long in just playing the game. And me personally, I feel that with the addition of all of this, it's just going to keep creating bigger and bigger barriers between the players who have been playing the game for a long time and the new and coming in and players who are just coming back, because once again, not everyone is just playing the game as consistent as like the top 0.1% of the player. Maybe some players just quit for a year and then just come back. Maybe just stop playing for 2 years and then just come back. Then once they come back, oh, I need to spend 3,000 hours just to catch up once again? Hell no. That's not good. But in due time, hopefully, hopefully they adjust many things. Like, yeah, this, I will say this right now, this update might be my last straw with this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. This update might be my last straw. Or I think about it, like, this is not gonna get any better. That much. Can't play the test server because everything is a buggy mess. Yeah. Yeah, then most definitely. This update might potentially be my last straw. I might just keep playing it, but I don't know if I... And even if I just try to do content, I don't know if I will just continue to do content in this game. Well, at least for this game. Or at least make it this my main. Well, that might be something... That might be a different discussion for a different day. But... yeah. Hey, these updates... They just don't learn. Devs don't learn. They really don't learn. They really think... They only try to combat... They really try to combat everything. Are people able to play the PTS at all? Some people are playing on the test server, yes. Well, a lot of people are having this same issue as me. Whereas it gets stuck on the login and it doesn't log in the slightest. And I'm pretty sure some people are on the test server. Yeah. I wish I could just play it or at least just show you Mystic Gem and just try to get some Mystic Gems, do some comparison for upgrades and such, but no can do. You can join on the test server. Yeah, some people, I'm pretty sure some people can. But I can't. Me personally, I cannot. It's just stuck right here. Let me disable some. Let me disable my mods. See if that will help out. Let me disable some mods, or at least all of my mods. I just play vanilla Trove. All of the mods. Let me just disable all of them. Maybe hopefully that will help. Okay. Might do that too. Hopefully that will work. Yep. Yep, stuck on the login. Let me hold on. I put it right here. Enjoy this screen while I check those files. Profile location. Okay, so let's see. Okay. 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 I deleted all the files now. All right. Okay. Get out of here. Yes, delete all of those files. Okay. Okay. It's re-downloading everything. Probably going to lag the stream a little bit. It's only 1 gig. Hopefully this works like it really does. I hope it really does work. Okay. Applying all of the files. Come on. I know you're there. Okay, there you go. Okay, let's see. Table of the mods restarted the whole thing. Nope. It's the same thing. Same thing. It didn't work. Yeah, this probably. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to just buy them because as it stands right now, 200 is also the 4-1 conversion is diabolical work. Like it should even be 20. And probably even 20, that's considered a lot. because there's so many gems. It's 12 gems. 20 still would be like 240 for a full set of gems. That's too much. Yeah, the thing is I do feel like they think that all of the players have thousands upon thousands of every single resource in the game. And they go like, oh, you know, this one player has maxed out Mystic Gear. I'm pretty sure if they grinded, how much is it? Like 5,000 to get that full Mystic Gear. I'm pretty sure they can just spend a little 200 just for one gem. Wait. Brother. And then you realize that it is literally 2,400 Souls of the Dead for a full set of gems. What the hell? Or heck, even if you're just going strictly off of Empower Gem, which is something that more than likely everyone's going to go for, at the very least. That's 800. $200. I think it's just. I think it's even more because it's Souls of the Dead, not Depth Cores. Depth Cores is the one that you do get from the 5-star. That's the craziest part. Souls of the Depths is the one that you get from the vaults in the new Delph biome, the Depths. Either that or Trunks. Yeah, they really do want to drive the players just... They just don't... They just don't know what the hell they're thinking. I mean, log out. Log in. Nope. Even relog in. Like I was on the test server before this stream. Just checking the recipes and checking everything. But I was just constantly crashing, and then I just crashed and this happened. And the map was not even loading the slightest, and they just crashed and... Because it was really laggy. The test server was really laggy. A lot of people couldn't even get out of the hub. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. the time that it takes for you to get many things in this game is unreal. They're expecting so much from the players nowadays. They're just dropping in updates without thinking of the previous update. They're just dropping in, just be like, they expect everyone to have the exact same resources. And they'd be like, oh yes, it shouldn't take you that long if you strictly focus on it. Yes, but what about all of the other things that takes to get to that point? No, I cannot play it on the test server. I have this stupid error right here. It's not letting me log in. That's to me, that's because they don't realize. Again, I will just regurgitate like the same thing that I just mentioned. Myself, John, this mother fifer, the angry Latino man that does recording for this stupid ass game, this person, I have 11,000 hours, more than 11,000 hours in Trove. Do they expect the average player to have the same time as me? Hell no. Like, what the hell do they think? They think that all the players have the same thing as me, the same resource. Hold on, what the hell's going on with my AC? Sorry about that. My air conditioner was sounding like hell and a half. I don't know, but let me just again say the same thing. I have so much time played in this game. Do they expect every single goddamn player to put in the same amount of time as me? No. The answer is no. Who in the hell is going to spend more than 10,000 hours in this game? Hell, who the hell is going to spend more than 6,000 hours in this game? And they expect the players to put in that same amount of goddamn time for them to actually just enjoy this stupid ass updates. It's completely stupid. The fact that they put this in the goddamn game, thinking that all of the players have the same amount of time as someone like me. I am not normal. I am the exception. You should not put an update for players like me. Players like me will naturally complete the updates quicker. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, putting an update just to combat the resources that we have. We have a lot of resources because we have a lot of time. Not every single player has a lot of time. They don't have the same amount of resources. Why the hell do you think that they're going to play the same amount of time for these stupid ass updates? That's the thing that bothers the living hell out of me. It genuinely pisses me off just every single time that I just see this the updates being put into this game, and literally every single time is the exact same BS. Like, they really don't respect the players. They're pushing the players to a brink of ridiculousness. They just don't realize it. And that's the thing that frustrates me. Like, in me, naturally, I'm going to have everything regardless, because I can literally just focus on the new stuff. But what about the other players who are either A, returning into the game because they literally just say, oh, new gems, oh, 50,000 power rank, oh, the gunslinger got buff, oh, the power captain got buff, oh, let me just go back and play the game and just enjoy this godforsaken game. And then they just realize that they had to spend like 6,000 hours just to reach into the certain point that they were like 3 years ago. And how about the new players? Oh, I am playing this game, and then they just realize when they just see a stream or a video like me, and then immediately just think like, oh, that okay, I want to get to that point, but how long does it take? Oh, it takes me how many hours? Oh, I am not gonna play this game. Leave the game. And like I just mentioned this multiple times, as a content creator, this sucks ass. Because imagine you putting so much time and effort into a game that everyone just goes ahead and just starts talking about, oh yes, no, this game is complete trash. The developer don't even give two shites about the players. Why the hell are you posting? Are people still playing this game? Nani? People are just still playing this game. Oh my god, why is this game still on my feed? Imagine just you put in so many time and effort and just having people just going ahead and just having that stigma behind it. That's just because of the stupid ass updates and the stupid ass decision that they keep making. I was making a whole video. Well, I wrote down a whole script talking about dragon coins and how stupid dragon coins are. Because that's another thing that they just don't realize it. Dragon coins, like a lot of people have just been constantly asking them, hey, can you buff dragon coins? Hey, can you give us a way to just get more dragon coins? And they go, oh, we don't have any immediate upgrades or any immediate fix, but you can just buy this store pack. He. No. And then you wonder why the hell people duplicated and cheated on your game, and then they immediately just go like, oh yes, no, this is a good thing. Cheating is good. Ha ha ha. It's like, no, cheating is not good, but in a way I kinda understand why the hell you cheated in the first place. Because they are trying to just bullshit your way out of everything. Ay. Sorry about that crash out, but I needed to just vent and just get it out of my system because, oh my god. No. Been playing this game for close to 9 years now. 9 years I've played this game. I've been posting content for more than 7 years on Trove. This hurts a lot. This hurts a lot. Realm of the Mad God. I remember like one of my friends actually just enjoyed that game a whole lot. Kept telling me, "Oh yes, just play that game, play that game, play that game." Like, didn't feel like playing too much that game, especially at the time I had way too many stuff. But yeah, there are many MMOs out there, especially some of the old MMOs. You know, I did mention this. Like, I've been playing a game, one of the oldest MMOs out there. It's called Tibia. Tibia is a really, really old MMO. It's older than a lot of people probably watching and just tuned in into the stream. I'm not even kidding. That game is old as hell. But it has consistently 12 to 15,000 people online. Concurrent player, by the way. 12 to 15,000 people on a 28-year-old game. And the reason why that game is still doing so well, even though it has its fair share of like BS, is that the main gameplay loop of that game is it plays really well if you're playing casually or if you're playing more hardcore. Everything in that game is leveling up. Hunt creature, hunt into a certain place, loot, get cash gate stuff, and then just level up, get EXP. The leveling system is infinite. It becomes more difficult at higher and higher level, but is infinite, and there's some risk behind it. If you die in that game, you lose a percentage of your total EXP. So it's not like you can just go willy-nilly and just be like, oh yes, let me just play and just hunt and with my eyes closed. No, like, there's some risk behind it if you get deleted. But at the end of the day, like, literally everything is just getting EXP, and you get progressively stronger as you level up. Of the drop rate, loaded gems. Yeah, I would assume so, yeah. And they usually just do that a whole lot in MMOs. They just make the grinding to get to a certain point in grinding, they just make it easier, but not in Trove. No, no. Do you wanna do you want to get to our new content, our brand new mystic gems? Oh yes, but first you need to, I don't know, max out your crystal gems to level 30 at the very least. Get quite a bit of dragons, get like 500 mastery. You know. A quick summary about the changes. This update sucks. That's my quick summary. The patch notes aren't that big. Sorry, but combat blocking sucks. It's essentially just death defying. It's a weaker death defying vial. That's combat blocking. Mystic gems are extremely expensive as all hell, and they're very good. They aren't like that much greater than crystal. And you get them from difficulty 15. There have been some class rebalancing, but all of them have been pretty eh. The only good one have been like probably Gunslinger's reduction to the ultimate ability and slightly longer time for the ult. And Pirate Captain is has a pretty good buff in DPS, but it doesn't make it like that much more insane. And that's about it. Some other small changes here and there to some other characters. Blockability, yes, it is pretty much useless. The combat blocking is useless as hell. It's just essentially a weaker version of the Death Defying Vial. It's just Death Defying that doesn't give you any health. They really just think that they're so disconnected from the game. They really think that survivability is that big of a problem in this game. They probably just listened to feedback like 6 years ago and people just going like, oh yes, you need Death Defying Vial in this game, haha. And in reality, you don't need that much. You don't need that much survivability. There's so much healing in this game. No, they're really okay. Yeah, there is Trove has no catch-up system. Again, getting to 30,000 powering has pretty much been almost exactly the same way forever. The only thing that they added was like the gear up. We've been able to get crystal level 4, which not a lot of people know that you can get crystal level 4. So a lot of people still end up getting stuck between 26 to 30. Because they don't know that they can get C4, upgrade C4, and that will be a big boost in PR. And they genuinely don't know everything. Generally, the developers are just so disconnected from this game. They think that the players are playing one game, but in reality, they were playing a completely different game from them. Just simply put. Just being as completely transparent as possible, yes. They are playing a completely different game than the players. Because there's no way in hell that you put in a slight increase in healing for the Chloromancer's basic attack. Who the hell asked for that? No one asked for that. There's no healers in this game. Stop pretending that they are goddamn healers in this game. They're not. There are no healers, there's no tanks. Everyone is a DPS character with speed built into it. There's nothing mechanically in this game that helps tanking or healing or anything. The fights in this game are way too chaotic and fast to have a goddamn tank just being like, oh yes, I am going to tank the whole damage from the enemy. No! Everyone is just running around, jumping and attacking non-stop, trying to spam all of their abilities so they can get the highest DPS, and trying to burst the enemy down as fast as possible. There's no healing involved. Everyone has DDV, life steal like crazy, and a lot of health by default because critical hit is super easy to get to 100%, so everyone just opt out to have a lot of health. So the average endgame player has like a couple of million health, like 2-3 mil health on average. And every single enemy outside of like the death biomes or 180 delves with multiple, what's it, terror? I don't even remember. Well, yeah, most of the enemies will deal like 100, 200,000 damage or even 300,000 damage. Oh boy, 300,000 damage per second. And I can heal like 10% of my damage every single time that I hit an enemy with no cooldown. Yeah, the Star Charter, the life leech node, the major starter draining kiss 10% is way too strong in this game. Like far too strong. That thing, you know, that thing is just way too strong and way too easy to get. That it practically just makes every single survivability in this game just useless for the most part. Oh, why have damage reduction where you can have lifesteal? Oh, why have something that can just heal you passively a percentage of your health when you can have a damage lifesteal that doesn't have any cooldown? Why in many cases would you use Death-defying Vial, where in many cases you will heal all of the damage that you are taking immediately? That life leech node is too strong. So trying to add in mechanics, thinking that that is not in the game, that is not the good thing. Should they nerf it? Probably. But they should just stop giving us like survivability BS, thinking that it's going to be such a good mechanic. I'm sorry. I am just so... I'm so drained. I'm hungry as well. I haven't eaten anything in so many hours either. I'll probably just... Since I cannot log in, I'll probably just go back and play some more Tibia. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I'll wait. I don't think I'm just going to immediately just post anything related to this update. I'll just wait. I'll just wait. I think I will just chill for a bit. Just wait. Yeah, it, Here's the thing. They don't they they don't look at the feedback that the players give them. They think that the players just complain for no goddamn reason. And it doesn't help because there's way too many trolls. Unfortunately. Just frankly speaking, there's way too many people just trolling and just saying stupid ass stuff that they think that it is that they're not joking, and in many cases they're joking or just trolling. So they take some of those feedback as a good thing, as facts. Also, they don't ask the general player base or the general player who played the actual game on anything. They just drop in stuff. They just put in stuff in this game, and if we don't like it, then screw you. That's it. This is not a game that is taking the community in mind. This is just a game that the developers are just putting in stuff that they want to put in. And if you want to come along for the ride, that's it. They're literally a content creator. They're essentially a YouTuber. They're acting the YouTuber. They're going the YouTuber route. Oh, I'm going to post in stuff. Whether you like it or not, well, that's it. But in reality, they... yeah. Waste of time, probably, yeah. It's like the problem is I'm pretty sure a lot of the new players that doesn't follow this game like they probably don't care. But the majority of the players who play this game for more than a month are going to realize, oh wait, what the hell is going on? Why is everything taking so long? Why do I have to wait for a specific thing just to get a little bit of PR and then do that for like 3 months minimum? Yeah. It's just whether they want it. They just put it in and... oh, give us some feedback. We give them feedback. Okay, they make like a tiny adjustment. Have fun. That's your update. Like, okay. Anyways, well, you can easily tell I can't play this game. I'm out. My throat is dry. I am disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Block mechanic sucks ass. And Mr. Gem is every bit bad that we thought that it was gonna be. Anyways, I think that will cover everything for me. And I'll just see you guys on probably soon. If we get any big notable changes, or if I can just actually finally log in onto the test server or something, then I will do another stream. But in the meantime, I'm just going to relax for a little bit, probably play some Tibia, and work on my 0-30,000 powering in due time. So I'm done with day 2, starting with day 3. And that's about it. I'm getting a phone call. But yeah, going to end the stream. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. Take care and keep on hunting.